you just recently we found your high school photography book.
My very first photography portfolio. My end of the year essay was pretty funny to read too.
Yeah, that's right. What did it say?
We should have grabbed it. I didn't know you wanted to talk about that.
Well, I didn't know what I want to talk about either. I think that's how most people do their podcasts. They just click record and
go. Is that how it is?
That's got to be.
Are you sick of me yet?
What? No. I honestly don't feel like we've been spending more time. I mean, I suppose, we have to have been spending more time together than we normally do.
Sure.
We just both work from home, and I feel like we spend so much time talking and stuff during the day anyways that it feels like.
When we were out doing stuff, there were days where it would be like, oh, you were gone for 3 hours. I miss you.
Yeah, we're kind of weird that way, I think, probably.
Yeah, I'm
happy about it.
I don't think that's normal.
So we were going through like all of the old technology. I've been going through all the old technology because our son has just fallen in love with, I don't know where he gets it. Well, both our son and our daughter have been playing with they call it spy equipment, but it's old laptops, a couple of my old cell phones that I had.
Yep. None of them work.
No, none of them work. And that's the great thing is that what I think we realized is you can give your kid an iPad and they'll love it and play with it. But it seems like you can also give them an iPad that doesn't turn on.
And they'll be just as happy.
At least our son has been. He doesn't know the difference. He's just pretending. Our daughter brings her laptop with her just to type.
Yeah. She likes to
pretend to type even though it doesn't turn on.
Well, we even have old keyboards.
Yeah, plug in old keyboards.
That serve that purpose. They love it.
Well, so there you go. If you're looking for a way to keep your kids entertained, just give them old technology.
Yeah.
I'm sure that works. As we were going through the old stuff, though, you just recently we found your high school photography book.
My very first photography portfolio, my first class that I took.
When did you
take high school?
What year were you? When did you take it?
I was a sophomore in high school, so I would have been like 15.
Okay. And did you know, was it something that was like an elective, or did you know like,
it was an elective? And the funny thing, because we were coming from a private school that had hardly any electives.
Right.
I think what were the electives? Anything?
Home ec.
Yeah.
And choir.
So when I went to this big public school and they had all these different electives, I was so excited. But the one I knew like right away, I was so excited to take was photography, which is really interesting that that I do what I do now, because I didn't.
It's almost like you've always liked it.
But
there's something inside
of all
of you that's
the electives that they offered, I was just so excited to take that. So yeah, that was fun. It was
fun
really
to look at. You had some good photos in there, though.
Yeah, well,
some portraits.
There was some, we were learning about composition, and we used film, and so we would go in the dark room and develop our own film, our own prints, and it was really, really fun. I loved all of that. My end of the year essay was pretty funny to read too. Yeah,
that's right. What did it say?
We should have grabbed it. I didn't know you wanted to talk about that.
Well, I didn't know what I want to talk about either. I think that's how most people do their podcasts. They just click record and
go. Is that how it is?
That's got to be.
No, it was really funny because it said something like, I loved, these different aspects of photography, and I could see myself doing something with it in the future. So
that's
right.
Was
kind of fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
And here you are.
Here I am.
Here you are.
The funniest, I think the best grade I got for my different projects was my portfolio, or my portrait project. And it was a window light project. And I remember taping a tablecloth tacking it to the ceiling in our living room.
Oh, really?
And we sat. I had my brother, who of course had to be my subject for everything.
Yeah, right.
I had him sit I learned about all the lighting, and I just used natural light, and it was coming in, from the window. And then
Sure.
I had him, kind of far away from this tablecloth. Anyway, it was really funny.
That's awesome. I wish you had behind the scenes photos, but
Yeah, I do too.
it wasn't as easy as pulling your cell phone out and taking a picture.
No. Well, you had a very early attraction to videography.
I did. I don't even know. I mean, obviously we had camcorders growing up, and my cousins and stuff. So we would make little like movies. I think every kid, maybe not, but I feel like every kid did that kind of stuff. It wasn't, I never really thought about it. But it was actually Spanish class in high school. She had an iMac. We had to make a video for extra credit. We could make a video for extra credit.
Whenever it's like, oh, here's this really fun thing you could do for extra credit. It's like, did you feel this way? You went all out for...
Worked harder in the extra credit
than you ever did in the
class.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's because we weren't learning Spanish for extra credit. We were making movies. I actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if Spanish, everyone had to make a video. You could use her computer, but she didn't know how to use it. She was like, I've got this. It was an iMac, one of the colorful iMacs. And she was like, you can use it if you want. I don't really know how to use it, but you don't have to.
Okay.
But that was just a project. It was math that was extra credit. The video was extra credit for those of us who needed a little extra help in geometry or whatever
in your
it was.
grades.
So we did both. We did math and Spanish. I say we, it was my buddy John. And so we did both those videos. And it was the first time, just here's an iMac with iMovie, go for it. And so we made Sports Center, Hoy en Sports Center. Right? I think that's Today in Sports Center. I don't know. I don't remember anything from Spanish, but I do remember iMovie. So I don't know. I guess I learned a lot.
Well, I think your path was starting to be clear.
Yep. So it was fun. It was fun to do that, and I got extra credit. I got all the extra credit I needed for that class.
To pass.
I passed.
That's good.
Barely. Were you a good student in high school?
I was a decent student. I could have been much better, but I didn't really apply myself.
I can relate.
Anytime there were projects that were a lot more hands-on and I don't know,
creative.
Yeah, creative. I loved writing. I loved my writing classes. Obviously photography. I don't remember. I think I may have told you this, but I was a part of the videography club.
I don't know if I did know that.
University High School.
Wow.
It was called Viable Vision.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we learned you had to like learn how to roll, what's the term for it? Roll up cords. You had to turn it a certain way so that when you threw it out.
Audio cables?
Sure. So that it wouldn't get all tangled.
Yeah, that's important.
Anyway, stuff like that, business class or clubs, anything like that. I loved.
Was it like
all
a
of that.
News station, like a school news?
We did the school announcements. So every day we would take turns doing different jobs, and multiple times I would be reading. We had a teleprompter and the whole thing. And I would just giggle my way through it, and my teacher would be so mad, and that was not a. Was it so?
But it was like broadcast, like it would.
Yeah, like it was live.
Like broadcast news.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's exciting.
And I just couldn't keep it together. Believe it or not.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
I was the only girl in that club for a while, which disappointed me. I was like, I don't know why there wouldn't be more girls in this class. But
yeah, that's interesting. When I was I went to the Art Institute, and I think there was maybe 4 or 5 girls out of the like 40 of us that were in the video production.
Sure.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, could probably dive into the psychology behind it all, but hopefully that's changing. I know when I worked for Tin Can, which is a nonprofit, there was a big push for girls in STEM specifically,
Yeah.
which obviously the T stands for. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. For those of you that don't know what STEM stands for.
Well, now they've changed it to STEAM.
Oh, they added arts.
In a lot of.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, our daughter's interested in it. She's wanted to make a movie for a while.
Yeah.
We'll see if she actually.
She's interested in a lot of things.
She does. I think she likes the planning process more than actually going for it. Do you care at all if our kids follow? Like, I know some people that's like a really big deal. Like, if their kids
if they follow in
your footsteps, does that matter?
At all.
Yeah, I don't care either.
I've never been one. I mean, we know this. We aren't status driven people.
Sure.
And so whatever they feel led to, like, I'm excited to watch. I don't want them to feel like they're forced any direction that we point them to.
Yeah. I feel like if anything, we've gone maybe too far the other direction where we're like, we don't put them in any like sporting activity because we're like, no, we don't want to force them to do anything. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
But also maybe they should try it.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll do that in school and stuff, but it's just kind of a funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Thing.
Well, and we learned a lot from, at least I did. I learned a lot from sports and stuff. So, but I think where I get hung up is, I'm like the other extreme where, I don't want them to have to commit to anything that, you already said all that.
I do want to be like the dad, like the sports dad guy that like is yelling at the refs and embarrassing his children.
Oh, I'll sit on the other side of the gym.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm just kidding. I won't be that.
I actually can't imagine you doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's good.
Yeah, that would surprise. It honestly would surprise me. I would be shocked to see you yelling at refs or something.
You know what's funny is I feel like I actually got a little bit of that. So my brother was 3 years younger than me, and so when he played sports, I was still like, I just graduated high school and he was then like a junior, right? Or sophomore or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I would go to all his games and I'd be really involved and I would like make him do drills in the backyard afterwards. And if he like dropped a ball, he had to like run. I don't know. I don't remember all of the drills we did, and then I'd show up at his games and I'd yell at the refs and I would be so like, I was like kind of living vicariously through that. So I feel like I kind of got that out of my system.
That's really good.
And I don't feel that way anymore.
I don't want that.
Although I think that if you were watching your daughter on a basketball court, let's say, and got pushed over by hard fouled by somebody, I think there would be something inside of you that would come out that you don't even know.
I think you're probably right. I don't want to admit it, but I think you're right.
I think there'd be something there.
I get it. I mean...
Right. I get it. Yeah. Well, that's funny. We'll see if that ever happens.
Yeah.
Maybe we should if we ever go back to school.
I think like you and I have very interesting paths as far as college and, high school, just our different experiences. One thing, I'll speak for myself, but I know you feel this way. I don't think either one of us feel success is measured by wealth or the status you have,
accolades.
Right. I don't think success is defined by those things, and I don't think happiness is defined by those things.
Yeah, for sure.
We both feel that way. So, I don't see us pushing our kids. I think we want them to learn lessons, 100%, good life lessons that can be found in, sports or school or whatever. And obviously we want them to learn those lessons, but I just don't see us being disappointed in them if they don't achieve, I don't know.
Honestly, like we haven't had much experience with it. Piper did cross country. That was about the only thing she did. But I would want them to do sports so that they could fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
sure.
that I think is there's a lot more to learn.
Yep.
Obviously,
so that they could fail and get back up and also work really hard and see how far they can push themselves.
Right. Yeah.
that goes beyond what you thought.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
I think those lessons are really important for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why when we play soccer in the backyard, I make sure to run up the score. I've never lost. I'm just kidding. I did hear about it. There's an NFL player who plays his son in Madden and beats him every single time.
Seriously?
Yeah, just never lets him win. And he's like, I heard him on an interview, and he was like, I'm teaching him how to.
That's hilarious.
It's a little bit different mindset.
You know what though? I do think that is that example's hilarious, but I do think there's really good things to be learned through losing. You know,
for sure.
How to handle that and handle it gracefully.
Even our own daughter, so much of what she's done in life has come fairly easy to her as far as like schoolwork, right?
Yeah.
And so when she faces something that she's suddenly not excelling at, we've seen the frustration. It's
yeah.
like, oh,
and she wants to quit.
Yeah, you need to be bad at something for a little while.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So let's find out all of the things we can put our kids in that they'll be terrible at.
Sure. Well, that was kind of the thought this summer, doing different sports camps and letting them try some different things, but I'm not really sure if that's going to be an option anymore.
Yeah, we'll see if we can leave the house.
Yeah.
Man.
As a dad and as someone who participated in sports, will you feel disappointed if our kids either don't want to do sports or they don't do well in sports?
I think I would want them to do, like we said, I would want them to try things. I would want them to fail. I would want them to find something that they like that is hard, so they have to work really hard to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
But that could be robotics or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever, band. Like it could be something that they have to, something that doesn't come easy that they have to work hard. I think that would be important for them to find something like that.
For sure.
But it definitely does not have to be sports.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be sports.
And they don't have to be good at it.
Yeah. Preferably they're terrible at it. No, I do want them to find something that they can get a full ride to college in. That's really important for me.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to pay for their college. So they need to find something that they're really good at. Golf.
You had an interesting experience with college because you knew you wanted to do video production, and that drove you to finish school. Yeah, I didn't have that.
Not experience. At first. When I graduated high school, I did not know what I wanted to do. So I spent some years at the Falls doing nothing, and then selling cell phones in the mall, which is actually a lot of fun. And then once I found the Art Institute, I graduated on the dean's list, which was funny because I was not a good student, and it was kind of by accident.
That's not by accident.
Well, and also I paid my brother to do all my math homework. But no, I didn't have to take every class I took was specifically related to the video production degree I had,
which you were incredibly interested in.
Right, exactly. It just made I need to do this. This is scripting, or I need to work on this. This is how you do producing, or whatever it was. And so that definitely was something that came a lot easier to me than science and mathematics.
I think that's what's really interesting about college and, career. I think there's so much value in seeing a job or seeing career potential and then working backwards to get there.
Yeah.
It's so much more motivating, especially for certain people. So I always admired my friends who graduated high school and they knew exactly what they wanted to go into, and they did their 4 years or they did their 6 years or whatever it was of college to get them there, and then they just went and did that job and that was it. You know, I always envied them because I really didn't have that clarity. I was just way too interested in so many different things. And so but I think there's a lot of value in seeing the end. This is the job, and that looks like it would fit me, and that looks really fun, and that looks like I could do something there, and then you just work backwards.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that. How do you anticipate facilitating that in our children's lives?
I mean, I think preparing them, talking through those things, I think that's what people attempted to do when they started, because I did a senior project.
Oh, right.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was like right on the cusp, but I feel like we were not required, but it was like, we're going to try it with this class.
Sure. And I don't know if they still do it, but the idea with that was like job shadow and then do a presentation on the career that you job shadowed or whatever.
I don't think it was official senior project because mine was on cloning.
Oh.
And I don't remember job shadowing anybody that was doing any cloning work.
I bet that would really help you in life.
I did get a great grade on it, though.
I think just we can offer our experiences to the kids and what we've learned and help them explore, different careers and different ways and helping them understand they don't have to go to college right out of high school.
Absolutely.
Unless it's something that they definitely have resolved and they know that would be the right choice, or they have the option to do what you did and go get some classes done at community college. Right. Or there's different options than just graduating and then going straight to a 4-year school.
Yeah.
You can, those are big decisions as a 17 or 18-year-old.
For sure. And I think because of the route both of us took, we kind of see like, oh, I wasn't ready to make my life choice when I was 17 or 18. And some kids are, and that's great.
Yeah.
It's funny that when we graduated, I'll speak for myself. When I graduated, it felt like graduated at 18, going to 4 years of college, 22. If you didn't do that and say you waited and then graduated at 25, it felt like, oh my, that's so late. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And somebody who's older than me is probably laughing at this, but the idea of having a little bit of perspective of like, oh, you could start your life, your career at the age of 30 and you still have 30 years of work ahead of you. And it just feels like there was a sense of urgency that was placed. And I don't think it was an intentional thing by teachers or parents or whatever, but it's just, there's just this sense of pressure that what are you going to do? Probably because that's the question that you get at your high school graduation party. What's next? Yeah. And so I think that's something that I hope we can impart a little bit to our kids where it's okay to spend... Nice. It's okay to spend some time not knowing exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think I would have really benefited from that, having gone on so many different tracks. Instead of, I could have just paused.
Right.
I could have job shadowed. I could have tried some things. No, not that. That wouldn't have fit me.
Okay.
But just tried some things out first, because then it would have given me better clarity as far as what to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see. It'll be exciting to see what they end up doing. It is interesting that my projection or my sort of roadmap for the rest of my life at 18, does not match what has happened.
Right. What did you go to school for originally?
To be a teacher.
Oh.
It was like all of my friends around me, it was like, we're graduating, we're going off to 4-year college, we know exactly what we're doing, and I always admired them for that, and I felt envious because I didn't have that same feeling. And so I sort of thought, oh, well, we just pick something, right? Okay, teacher.
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense. And while I love one-on-one interaction with people, teaching was not the route for me, specifically in a classroom. My first semester of classes, it was like, oh, wow, this is not what I'm meant to be doing. So, I really would have benefited from, taking a pause and trying to figure some things out first. But I do believe like what ended up happening was meant to be. And, while that plan that I had, or while my expectations are totally different, than reality, you know what I'm saying? I love how our life has gone. Yeah. It's so interesting how now as far as photography, I'm doing something that combines all of my interests.
Right. All right. Well, this one's telling us that it's time to be done with this episode. So
he's like, you guys are so boring.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
Hopefully
he won't always think that way.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to be posting some more videos than just episodes, and we'll post them there at YouTube. So make sure to follow along.
Do that, because, we all could use some new content these days.
Right. All right. Thanks so much. And we will see you next time on the dining room table.
Oh, look at those.